Peyton Thorne, gosh, these numbers are awful. 10 for 19, 82 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 INT. If I were to tell you before the game, Peyton Thorne was going to put up these stats, you would have thought Auburn got beat by 30 points, and yet they had a legit shot to win this ball game. Unreal. Okay, there we go. Just flipped it over to the LSU Ole Miss game, and it's 21-14 early in the second quarter. Not gonna lie, I haven't been watching it because I was watching the game. We're about to talk about the Georgia and Auburn game, but what is going on in this game? No defense being played, and Ole Miss just scored again, 21-21. Guess they're not gonna play defense in that game. See how that turns out. Interesting that, I don't know, that just seems like that's besides the point. Matt, lock in. Let's get down to business. And oh yeah, by the way, like I told you, new character unlocked. Headband Matt in the building for this Saturday. Wow. You know what? We got to bring the whiteboard down early. First things first. Let's start out with this. What a game that was. I was just so happy that the Auburn-Georgia game was close. Because I'm going to tell y'all a little something. The game I look forward to the most that I have no horse in the race is Auburn and Georgia. I don't know why. I just like it. Would you label it as a heated rival game? I think I would. But on a serious note, let's just start out with this, right? Let's start out with the X Factor of today's ball game. It wasn't a unit. It wasn't a couple players. It wasn't one side of the ball. It was one player only. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he's a man amongst boys out there. He's a beast. That's not lined up. There we go. Should be better. The X Factor was no other than Brock Bowers. Man, oh man. Mama, there goes that man. Reminds me a lot of White Randy in 7th grade PE class. Just to run over people, stuff them in there. Dude, Brock Bowers, what's so impressive about him is he's so big, and we're used to seeing big tight ends, but he's also quick, elusive, and he runs like he's a dang running back almost. He's faster than what a lot of people think. It looks like he's jogging out there, and then you see him just flying past safeties and cornerbacks. Unreal, and the strength he has. After he catches a ball, you can already just throw tackle. The first guy who gets to him, they're not going to make a play. He's either going to run him over, or the guy's normally just hanging on for dear life until the rest of the team comes over to game tackle him. Guy's a beast, man. Guy's a beast. He was the X Factor in this game, but I also want to, before I really give you my analysis, break down this, because I thought, Georgia won. First things first. I always forget to do this. Y'all know this. Congratulations, everybody. Clap it up to Georgia. Congratulations to the Dog fan base. By the way, shout out to Dog Nation. Is that what you call yourselves? We got a big Georgia fan base on the channel. Doesn't go unnoticed. I greatly appreciate you guys. And I like a lot of Bama fans. I do not have a problem with Georgia fans. I just don't. So if you got beef with them and you're a Bama fan, I get it. But for me, myself, don't have a problem with Georgia fans or even the Georgia football team. I'm a Kirby Smart fan. He came from Alabama. Love me some Kirby. The other like I was saying, sorry, all over the place. The other X Factor in this game is, give me a minute. I'm going to have to pull up the stat because I don't want to get it wrong. Wow, this was actually worse than I originally thought. Wow. Man, I hate to overreact to just one stat line, but this really was the difference in the game, guys. As you can see right here, third downs, Georgia. Why did I tap it like that? Don't know. But Georgia. You see it. 8 for 13 on third downs. That is immaculate in SEC play, especially on the road. You're going to win a lot of games doing that. That's over 50%. Don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. I believe it's around 62% to be exact. And Auburn. Wow. That is bad, folks. That is bad. 2 for 12. I believe at one point in the game they were, was it 1 for 9? 1 for 10? And the sad part about it is a lot of them third downs were short yardage. They just couldn't convert, man. And that was what cost Auburn the game, really. Because if you think about it, Auburn should have won this game, guys. They should have won this game because Georgia gifted them. Georgia handed them 14 points. Georgia had 2 turnovers, not 1 but 2, and on both of them, Auburn scored 14 points. Georgia set themselves up for failure in this game. You take away the 14 points they handed Auburn, what was the final score, 27-20? It'd have been 27-6, right? Yeah, 27-6. The only reason Auburn was in the game is because Georgia gifted them 14 points. Now, I say gifted them. It's not like they were just handing them 7 points. It's more so of Georgia turned the ball over, shot themselves in the foot, and Auburn capitalized. But you get the point I'm trying to make here, and I'm not going to write this down, but let's take a look at Carson Beck's stats, and let's take a look at Peyton Thorne. We talked about this leading up to the game. Peyton Thorne is still having problems because him and the wide receivers, they have terrible chemistry. And it's hard to believe you can have this bad of chemistry in week 5. It's not week 1. It's not week 2, guys. It is week 5. We are in SEC play. And I get it. He just got there. But good gosh almighty. It is bad. It is bad. Okay, Peyton Thorne. 10 for 19. 82 yards. Yet again, another game where Auburn's not having 100 passing yards. 0 tutties, 1 INT. If I were to tell you before the game, hey man, Peyton Thorne is going to go 10 for 19. That's 54% completion percentage. 82 yards, no tutties, and 1 INT. What do you think the final score would be? I'm asking you a genuine question. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to write these numbers down because I think they're that important. Okay, there we have it. Yeah, you can see that pretty good. Peyton Thorne, gosh, these numbers are awful. 10 for 19, 82 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 INT. If I were to tell you before the game, Peyton Thorne was going to put up these stats, you would have thought Auburn got to be about 30 points, and yet they had a legit shot to win this ball game. Unreal. Beck played a good game. 23 for 33. You'll take that. 313. Most definitely take that. 1 touchdown. That's all right. And then 1 INT. But he made up for it. He made up for it. The real difference is Peyton Thorne really didn't make up for it. 82 yards. Good gosh almighty. You're just not going to win many games throwing for 82 yards. And it goes back to the chemistry issues. But I had to write those numbers down just so I could realize myself how wishy-washy the game was. Any more stats to look at? Georgia had 107 rushing yards. Not too many, surprising. And Auburn, they did okay on the grade. Yeah, they had 219 rushing yards. Man, hard to believe Auburn lost this game and had over 200 rushing yards. You hate to see it, but overall, I don't think Auburn, if I had to give out grades for this game, I'd say Georgia. I don't think Georgia played bad. They just had 2 turnovers that really set them back. I'd give Georgia a B-. I'd give them B-. C+, B-. I'm going to go with a B-. And I'd give Auburn. And the crazy part about this game is I don't think Auburn played great by any stretch of the imagination. I'd give Auburn for their standards, they probably played their B+ game. And obviously, Auburn's B+ game isn't good enough to beat Georgia's B- game. But what I did take away from this game, if I was an Auburn fan, I would be pleased about this. At least you know you can play with anybody. They play with the best team in the country. So it's just, it comes down to quarterback play, man. You're not going to win. And I hate to just focus on one thing, but that's really the X factor. Well, the X factor was Brock Bowers. But also this, the storyline of the game is your quarterback for Auburn had 82 passing yards, and Carson Beck had 313, moved the ball down the field. Nobody's scared of this Auburn passing game, and you shouldn't be. And I will say this, I did like how Hugh Freeze incorporated Robbie Ashford. I do like the dual threat because it's not like Peyton Thorne is Joe Burrow. He's not solidified himself as this top-notch SEC quarterback. If he did, then I wouldn't like switching in a quarterback all the time. But the fact that Peyton Thorne is putting up numbers like this, and I don't think he's playing atrocious. I'm just saying the Robbie Ashford, it keeps the defense on their toes because you can tell when Georgia saw Ashford go in the game, just had him thinking differently. So I'm doing a good credit to Hugh Freeze there. But yeah, that's really all I got for the game. Like I said, can't emphasize it enough. It was an awesome game to watch. I love college football. It's what it's about. And yeah, Georgia escapes with a win. I thought for a second there that witchcraft in Jordan-Hare Stadium as LSU scores again. Guess they're not going to play defense in this LSU Ole Miss game. But anyways, like I was saying, I thought the witchcraft in Jordan-Hare Stadium, it was going to come out late in the fourth quarter, but I guess not. They'll probably say that for the Bama game. So we'll talk about that a different day. Let me know your thoughts down below. But